So I've reviewed the plans with the boss, and my wife kindly reminded me that when we make wine, we typically bottle it in two different size bottles. A normal size bottle, which is 750 milliliters, as well as the smaller demi bottle, which is half of that, 375 milliliters. So I really need to make adjustments to my wine rack to accommodate both.
So the first thing I needed to do is recreate this detail sheet for the new bottle. The new bottle measures 2.5 inches in diameter and 9.5 inches long. And by doing the same exercise we did before, I was able to determine that the bottle rail detail, I could maintain the 1/2 inch height, but the width I could reduce from the original 1 inch down to 7/8 of an inch, and that the angle of the cut actually changed from 36 to 37. Realistically, I'm going to set one angle. Those are so close, I'm going to set one angle and cut it, and I make it work for both. So the big changes in the overall design will be that the left hand side will hold the 750 milliliter bottles, and the right hand side will be designed for these 375 milliliter bottles. But another difference is I'm going to add a shelf in the middle so that I can hold some of the 1 gallon carboys that I use for some of my fruit wines. Now that my design is complete and I have it approved, I was able to summarize all the components that I was going to need to build the shelves and come up with this lumber list.
Next, I thought it was pretty important to build a little prototype to make sure that my measurements seemed to be okay. So I took a 2x4 and I ripped it 1/2 inch by 1 inch, which is the piece of board that's going to go between the bottle's going to sit on. And then it was time to bevel that edge based on that 36-degree angle. So I used a simple protractor and built on paper what that looks like, and then built basically a template. And this template is important because not only am I going to cut that angle right now during this sample, but I'll have to straighten the saw back out to cut my real boards, and then later reacquire that same angle once I've proven it to be okay. So I thought I'd build this temporary angle gauge that I could use over and over again. The next piece that I needed was my spacer that would go between those two boards, and the bottle would sit parallel to this. So in my drawing it turned out to be a 2 3/8 inch spacer I needed, so I cut this board 2 3/8 inch wide and used that to build this prototype. So this prototype offers that 2 3/8 inch spacing between each of these two rungs, and as well as when I did my sample, see how my bottles are going to sit. It turned out exactly what I was looking for. And this shows how the bottles sit down below this surface. That's exactly what I want. And then also I can look down these edges and see that this angle is perpendicular to the edge of the glass. It just makes it turned out to be perfect. So that's what I'm going to go with. Now this board here is just a 2x4. I didn't try and rip this to right size or the right length, but based on this mock-up, I can now make some adjustments to the overall length of this unit, as well as take in consideration the actual nominal board sizes that I'm going to get. And here's a quick view at the rear, just showing the touching of the bottles. They're not going to sit on top of this board, so that board will kiss up to it.
Now that the plans are complete, it's time to go buy some lumber. Pretty soon we'll be making some sawdust, so if you would like to follow along, please subscribe to this channel, and I will create a playlist that will include all the videos in this series, as well as I'm going to offer this set of plans on a network drive that you can be able to download those files in PDF format. Thank you, and hope you enjoy watching.